Hello and welcome to episode 38 of Greatest Let's Play Modded Minecraft series, and I really need to get better at that turbine, and these lightning plants are really annoying. If you ever get constant lightning in your world, it's probably the fault of these things. They spread like crazy, can't stop them, yeah. Anyway, on with the episode. This episode we're gonna complete that data center. Remember, a couple of episodes back we built it, and it is amazing, but it's not on, and we need to make sure that that happens. So, this episode, let's do that. First of all, let's head inside, and I want to introduce you to the main point of the episode, which is deep storage. What is that, you may ask? Well, as you can see in my inventory, I've already got a couple, but I do actually need to craft some more. I'm not sure how much resources I've got for this. Oh, it's gonna. Because I'm not running my quarry, I don't have enough wood to make the sticks, the chests. Let's just make some manually. I will fix the rest off camera. $32 chests and a button. No idea what. Yeah, I know what the button happened. Don't want that to happen in future, but hey, what the heck? Planks, straight chests, deep storage. There we go. Let's see if we've got enough for, I don't know, 5 more. That'd be nice. Still missing. Oh, because of the chests. It'll make 2 more. So while that's crafting, I've got a bunch of other things in my inventory, as you can see. I've got some controllers. You're probably going to want some interfaces and ME storage buses, although those are more to hook up to the rest of the data center than anything else. I've already done that, so I don't strictly need them, but I'll bring them along. Conduit I definitely don't need. I just had that from something off camera. A couple of colours of cable would be nice, just to make your wiring job a little bit easier. 3 I've got, 4, because I want some power connectors, some quartz fibre, and a few of these. They're called P2P tunnels. You probably haven't seen them in my series so far. I do use them kind of when I'm just enjoying myself, but I haven't introduced them as a concept yet. We have already explained subnets, and hopefully you're using those to relieve all the stress on your network. P2P tunnels are an alternative way of doing that. You'll see why in a minute. They're one way of getting rid of lots of dense cable. They don't work for storage. To be honest, for storage you don't probably need them. You could just continue chaining subnets. But the way I'm doing deep storage, or the way I'm probably going to wire it, I'm going to use P2P tunnels. I want to demonstrate them to you. Hopefully in your own worlds you're going to find some really good usage out of them. It does make things look quite neat too. So there is that. So we've got a couple of deep storage units, and why aren't you stacking? No idea. Controllers, some covers, this thing, a memory card, very simple to make. As you can see, we've already got all of those. A memory card just basically allows you to save settings from P2P tunnel to P2P tunnel. We'll go into that in a minute. Let's go to our data center. So I connected it up by a tesseract, and obviously you can see I/O is 0. That's because we've got a constant turbine. Let's go downstairs and check on our turbine. I did try and lower the control rods to be a bit more fuel efficient, and that has worked. So this is constantly now, this is its maximum speed, and I did get a correction from one of the commenters. Oh, I really need to write the commenters' names down. I'm so sorry. You know who you are. Saying that the dimensions of this doesn't really matter. I build generally for the smallest block space, and sure, they can be built in any shape possible, but I thought that if you added extra space in the inside it would affect the steam. Naturally you might think that, particularly if you're thinking of the real world, but no, apparently you can just build them whatever size you like, as long as the number of blades are the same and the number of coil things are the same, doesn't matter. So I can probably normalize this I probably just can't be bothered at the moment. So it's running at 1780, which is close to that 1800 figure. It's in the green zone, and it's producing a constant 28, just over 28k RF per tick. And it's doing it at 2000 millibucks per tick maximum. And as I mentioned, that Direwolf 20 had worked out just from its computer program for this particular kind of design, the 7x7x7, quite efficient design that's pretty well advertised on all the big reactor spreadsheets. 68% is the number. If your design differs, particularly the number of the number of fuel rods, or the type of absorption material you're using, yeah, it's going to vary. So by all means, use that program that he has. So we've got dependable amount of power supply, and yeah, it's just not depleting. The data center is actually on. I turned it on. You can see it's not. There we go. You see. All the stuff's on, all working. I just don't have any storage drives in it at the moment. Perhaps I should do that. Yeah, I don't have any storage drives. That would aid in bug testing. Storage. I have a 64K and it's unformatted. That's pretty close to what I want. In fact, that's exactly what I want. Why bother with anything else than 64K? So let's throw you in there. And if I were to say throw 13 marble in, it's working fine. And somewhere there'll be a green light. Ah, there we are. Haha, green light, 64K. And yeah. So that is actually working. Let's go and head to our extension to the data center. Here we are. I'll put some decorative blocks in place. So it's going to be a similar kind of thing. Let's just take these out. Similar kind of thing to this layout here. Except, because we're using deep storage units now, we don't have to have this gap. They don't share channels because they're not ME drives. They're not applied energistics. They're made by MFR. So how are we going to lay this out? Well, let's start off by putting a few of them down. In fact, let me just put 2 on each side, then you get the idea. They're fairly expensive to make, so I don't think you should probably make like 60 of them at once. But let's, put 2 down on each side. So the idea is, just like in there, we're going to have 2 rows. And we're going to have an aisle in the middle. To hook these up, unlike these, what we're going to have over the top of them is a storage monitor. If you haven't seen these before, they are a ME level emitter and an illuminated panel. There they are. And the way these work is you right click on them with an item, and it tells you how much of that item's in the ME system. It's not actually related to this deep storage unit. It's important. It's not attached to it. It's not going to tell you how many is in it. It's going to tell me how many total in your system. But the idea is, here, if I'm going to put a storage monitor, like, let's say, this. Implicitly, I want all of the actual items of a particular kind in here. For example, if I put 13 marble in, that's now stored 13 marble, and this will increase once this gets past 1 stack. There's always 1 stack available to take out. So I could, in turn, right-click. I'm not sure that would... it doesn't work until it's online. Okay. It's offline at the moment. So I've got 7 of them, as you can see. If you remember, smart cable without controllers can only cope with 8 devices on 1 network without a controller. But we're going to be very sneaky here. Extremely sneaky. Or sneaky, if you're an Adam Sandler fan. Yeah, so let's just take out these blocks. And as you might imagine, what we're going to do on the bottom of these is put storage buses in place. Simple. In the storage buses, increase the priority to 1000. Doesn't really matter what number you use, but just something pretty much high that that nothing else is going to interfere with, because you want anything specified for a deep storage unit to be high priority. It should be stored there before anywhere else, and you're not going to fill these things. You're just not. Then you want to nominate what you want for each of these things. So let me just let me put marble in this one. That's all you need to do. And let me just, for argument's sake, just put this one of each type of block that I happen to have on me. It doesn't have to be anything specific because I'm just testing at the moment. So they're each whitelisted. They've each got a storage bus with high priority. How are we going to hook them up? Well, if you remember, I've got all of this arrangement where we're extending, you're creating chained subnets using storage buses and interfaces, and I've put a last one here just to extend this out to our room. Again, same thing, storage bus interface. I haven't touched the priority of these storage buses. I want to see whether I can get away with not touching them at all, i.e. if everything just senses this priority, then I don't need to touch anything anywhere else, which would be nice. We'll see. I'm then going to put a couple of controllers down, and yeah, you're going to say, you may be thinking, hey, hang on, you're doing subnets to avoid controllers. Well, in this case it just makes this a little bit easier and a little bit more fun, in fact, just to wire everything up. So up here I'm then going to lay down another row of where am I going to go with these? Cable like this. You may be guessing what I'm about to do, you may not. Don't worry if not, you're about to find out. Let me just remove that for a second. And in fact that as well. So as you can see, these are not connecting. And we've got 7 on that side, and we're going to have 7 on this side, so let's do that. If you're bothered by the actual colours of these storage monitors, just use a different colour cable. You can get away with white and black, for instance, and that's just one will be lit up more than the other. Or if you're okay with just spacing these out a bit more, use the same colour cable. I'm just doing it to retain the compactness and the nice layout of this kind of approach in here. So there we've got 7 on each side. Where's the 8th, you may ask? This is where we come into P2P tunnels. And it's let's just start. If I put a P2P tunnel on the side of this controller and start laying some cable, I'm going to use white cable. It's different than the other two kinds. Is that the way I want things? Yeah, it is. Okay. And I'm going to put another P2P tunnel right there. Remember that the plate side, or rather the non-plate side, is the compression side. We're going to see what the compression side is when I turn this on. So remember, if you've got 7 devices, let's say on a smart cable like this, the plate side should be towards the 7 devices. I think you can do 8 actually, but yeah, I only had room for that in this room design, so that's fine. However, on this side of the network, on this side of the P2P tunnel, point-to-point tunnel, hopefully I'm not going to say peer-to-peer anywhere in this episode. It's so tempting to say peer-to-peer. On this side, there's only 2 devices on this cable. There's one there, and there's one there. Let's extend that. Let's first turn on this side. So if I connect that up, you'll notice they're still saying offline. There we go, offline. That's because just like our setup through here, this blocks the power. So easiest way to solve that is just to grab a couple of quartz fibers, put one, let's say there, one here, and then a red. And we're going to have to do the same thing here. For the moment, this is just temporary. It might look a bit awful. I don't even like that to start with, but that should give us power. There we are. So you can see two devices here, or two devices all the way up to here, and then suddenly it hits 7. What's going on? Well, a P2P tunnel, point to point, not peer to peer, must remember, compresses anything on this side of the P2P tunnel. In particular, if you shift right click here, no, not with that tool. If you don't use the wrong tool, that's annoying. Where's my cable? There we go. If you use the right tool, shift right click on this one, it saves the settings. Right click on this one, it loads the settings. That's not perhaps important when you've only got two devices like this. When you've got lots of them, all you're basically doing is saying compress the channels between these two, as far as I'm aware. If there's something more funky going on there, please do let me know in the comments. So we can extend this. We can still do this with just one regular smart cable at the P2P tunnels. But now I can then say, fine, if I'm going to do that, I'm also going to take my white cable and extend it this way. I'm then going to put another set of tunnels, and I'm going to copy the same settings to them. Right click, go. Now I've got 5 devices on my single smart cable, not dense cable at all, and I can now do, where are we? I need one black. So another 7. And the rest, is it just white? Yeah, it's just white. So I can lay cable this way. How is that even getting power? Does it need power? Am I being stupid? It's always a possibility. No, it just may be me not remembering to hook everything up. No, okay, so you don't need power. That's much better once you don't start breaking your own cabling. Alright, so there we've got 2 cabling runs this way. Why aren't you... Something here does actually require power. There we go. Okay, it's just, yeah. Oh, fine. It's going to need it at this end. Okay, I can live with that. So, we've got a few runs. A single smart cable, 5 channels at the tunnels, where we've got 7 on there. We can have another 7 here, another 7 here, and another 7 at the top. 28 devices, all just using smart cables and point-to-point tunnels. Good? Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Now, does it work? That's the big question. Does it work with the rest of the system? I.e., what happens to my marble if I put it in here, well, the system definitely stores it, but where is it? Is it in my deep storage? Or is it somewhere else? Looks like it's somewhere else. Yeah, it's not storing it in the deep storage. So I'm going to have to figure out the priority of that and how to deal with that side of things. I'll be right back once I've figured that out. That seems to work. All that I've done is, obviously these are back here marked as 1000 priority, and I've just changed this one to 999, this one to 998, this one to 997, this one to 996, there. And what then happens is you dump the marble in there. It's not storing it in my storage cell. And what we should see is a deep storage. All this is basically doing is saying, hey, store everything towards the back of the room preferentially. There we go. Storage. And if I take, just take a bit of that out, I should, hopefully, yep, there we go. Just right click and you get it in this window. Maybe if you're, I'm not sure if you're able to lock them. It'd be nice if you were. Anyway, if I dump them in, 13 in the system. Remember, these aren't actually connected at all. They're entirely separate. It's just the illusion, if you like, of them corresponding to each other, which is absolutely fine by me. I can now then fill in the rest of the cabinets, as you'd expect, and you know, we can put some more deep storage on there if I want to. Now, deep storage is solved, but what's still missing? Because there is something still missing, and it's a pretty annoying thing that I deal with every time I add something new to the system. Something I kind of want to solve once and for all. If it's possible to do so, that would be great. I definitely want an automated solution to this. And that is when you add deep storage to the system, or when you add anything really that's, let's say let's go and demonstrate this. Let's say you go and make a drive, and you set that drive to be a specific thing, let's say iron. If you've already got generic storage in the system, and you put that iron formatted storage, like for example here, these are all formatted. Have I got any more storage options? No, but I wonder if it'll make me another 64K. That'd be kind of nice. It will, it just decides not to. I don't know what it's crafting. Anyway, while it's doing that, you can use a cell workbench to format things. You can use an inscriber to name it, like say iron or something, and then you put it into your system and nothing happens. It doesn't fill up. It seems AE2 doesn't automatically do that. It'd be nice if it did. The way you deal with this manually is by using one of these, the AE2 port. There's a few ways for this to happen, or a few ways for you to use this. What you can do here is take all of your stuff, all of your drives out, and you can put them through the I/O port, and that'll have the effect as if you're taking all the items out of your network, put them all back in again, and then the priorities should then deal with putting the stuff in the right place. For instance, you know, the ME drives here, I've got a higher storage because this one is formatted, so they'll all go to this one first. And thankfully my drive has finished being made, and we can use it in here. So what we can do is, well, there's a few different ways of doing this. To do this manually, you can of course sort all your drives through. That's not so great. The better way to do this is we can set this to move when work's done, and instead of the default, which is transfer stuff out of your cell to the network, you can flip it to export data to the storage cell. And I think, what cards have we got available here? Is it just acceleration maybe? Redstone card. Yeah, acceleration card. So it does get faster. So you can set this to, let's give you an example. Set iron, we've got 75k of it. We can go to our cell workbench, put our cell in there, specify it as iron only. You'll see it's now changed to partitioned. Take this out and hopefully this should work. Pull the stuff out of the network because it's now specified. Move to output when the work's done. Now you'll see all the iron disappearing out of the network. Acceleration cards. There's 3 of them. And you'll see now, of that 64k storage, about 1/6 is filled. And that's 75k of iron, so obviously times that by 6, you end up with about 450k in a 64k storage cell. So if you're planning to only have 450k iron ever, you can use a storage cell like this. It works okay. Kind of. Let's see what the speed is of putting it back into the network. Yeah, that's much faster. So if you're happy going through that process, it's annoying that there's no way to really automate this, because you have to, for specified on your card, on your cell, sorry, you have to format it and then put it through the I/O port, and then you can put it back into the system using the opposite process. You're using this storage drive as a temporary store. You're pulling everything out, pushing everything back in. That's the alternative to having to pull every drive and put them through this, just putting it back into the system again. Both kind of work. They're okay. I wonder if there's anything a little bit better. Might be, might not be. We could look at creating something along the lines of an import bus and an export bus. Probably, let me just... Yeah, scrap one of those and a chest. Let's take a gold chest for now. And I've got of iron. Iron I've got. I want some to take with me though. A couple of stacks. Do I need anything else for this? Yeah, probably not. So, the way that I could try and do it, I'm not sure if this is going to work or not. If it doesn't, then we're back to that I/O port solution. So, just bear that in mind. You're probably going to end up with that solution anyway. I just thought I'd try this. It could create an infinite loop. I'm kind of hopeful that it won't, but it's entirely possible. So, yeah, I don't have many channels there, so maybe I can create something. If I put down my gold chest... oh, no, not over an elevator. God. Alright. And let's say we put... Did I bring any acceleration cards? No, I didn't. Oh well. so what I could do is say, well, we'll see if this works. Put my iron in the system, and it should be getting dropped into this. Yeah. So if I instead say I want iron back here, this is high priority, so if I put in more iron in the system, it should hit my deep storage. But I've still got 192 here, and I don't have, see, no iron. So if I nominate iron as this, what I'm wondering is if it will just pull from the system and push back into it. It looks like it is actually working, but extremely slowly. Let's go and get an acceleration card or two. Or 6, in fact. And the reason why I say this could be an infinite loop is because I don't know whether it will pull it back out of the deep storage again once it starts. Oh, we can put actually 4 in each. Okay, let's see if any's moved to our deep storage. That seems to have worked just fine. It's not pulling it back out again, or at least not to my knowledge. I'm certainly not seeing it. No. So what it really should be doing here is it should be pulling from lower priority storage first. So if you've got anything in your generic system, let's take this back out, on any of these drives, if you want to transfer it to deep storage, you just have to put this setup somewhere and just click on the export bus, right click an item in there, and everything will get pulled out of your main system and pushed in. It'll happen automatically, hopefully, without causing infinite loops. And more importantly, you can just walk away. You don't have to do the manual thing with temporary storage or anything like that. It's just nice and useful. I'll probably put it down here, you know, here or something. So that's pretty much, I think, the deep storage part of this done. I can finish this off just by putting cabinets, and I'll probably show you them at the start of the next episode. But we've got this, you know, quite nice setup. No need for lots of weird wiring. We've got P2P tunnels in place. We've got different colour wiring, and it all looks pretty damn good to me. So once again, thanks for watching. If you'd like to subscribe to see more of these videos, if you've got any more topics that you'd like to see, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Subscribe, like, and if you don't like the video, do dislike, but do please tell me why. I would love to improve. I try not to be too wordy, but you know, sometimes I try to explain things perhaps more than most people might like. Anyway, we've got permanent good power, we've got permanent turbine that's on all the time, we've got a data center that we can now use. Next episode, we're going to look at moving all of our data, and I think we're going to look at quantum bridges. I think they're called quantum bridges. Quantum ring, yeah, quantum link chamber. They're both AE2, but they're largely so you can link 2 different places, which will be good. So because once we've moved all of our data in here, we want to access it from wherever we are, in whatever world we're in, whether it's the overworld or the void world, like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.